Welcome to the Natural History Cupboard. Come on in.
And we're back. We're back in the same room.
We are back in the same room.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, I know I said we're back sort of last week because we were both doing stuff.
Yep.
But we're back good and proper this
It was a
time.
soft return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
basically.
a spin-off.
Well, it was me in a void with a green screen, and you sat here on a couch.
Sat here on the couch. Yeah.
I mean, I could have broken in. I felt tempted to break in, but it would have meant carting myself halfway back across Devon.
Okay.
So, yeah. No, we're back. I mean, well, what have you been up to? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that both of us have been up to.
A lot to catch up on. But I've been gallivanting. So we caught the ferry from Dover to Calais, into France. We went south through France. There is a video for the Patreon of a special wall in France, in the south of France, which is really cool.
You haven't even shown me that.
No, I haven't. I will show you it though.
I'll have to join the Patreon.
I think I'm gonna put, yes, I'll put a picture up here as well whilst I'm talking about it. The video will be for the Patrons first.
Yeah.
So yeah, did France, saw I almost said an ocelot, but what I meant was an osprey. Saw an osprey hunting.
That's very cool.
And now the image of an ocelot belly flopping
into the water
from like tens of feet up into the water is now in my head. And it came down and it went splish into the water, came back up, dropped the fish, and it circled back round to try again. And then it came down, but then it kind of pulled back up and thought, oh, I'm not going to get to see. So he went away.
No.
And I didn't see him again at that. But that was a beautiful sight. And then across the French Italian Alps, stopped in a place where there's been quite a few. It's a region where the first French wolves returned, and they have around 20 to 25 packs of wild wolves in this location, about 300 individuals thereabouts. And just when we got there, and it was looking quite like, we're looking forward to, we're gonna spot some wolves, the weather changed. Storm rolled up the Alps, and I said to Atta, this ain't gonna happen. Like they're just gonna bed down as they do, either in their burrows or under trees and stuff. We're not going to see them. So yeah, we carried on into Italy, saw tornadoes, 3. So this storm followed us off of the Alps, and we were on a beach in the sea, chilling out, having a whale of a time. And there's thunder and lightning hitting the mountainside, right? And I've never seen this before. Like I've seen, like in Saunton, these things, but I've never seen them actually form.
Like a dust devil or a sea spout.
Sea spout, but this came down from the clouds. These 3 fingers like this, and they were spinning and they were starting to snake. And I was like, Atta pointed out first, I was like, they're twisters, but they only got about halfway down ish.
You didn't think to get out of the water at this point?
Well, it was like miles away.
Oh, okay.
Like if you think about your sight, but they came about halfway down at an estimate, and then they just dispersed. But it was so eerie to see them form. It's like almost like an apocalyptic feel. Very cool. Then it was on from Italy to Switzerland. We played this game, very fun game. If you want to play this, as you go through tunnels, you either hold your breath or you count the number of seconds. Right?
I was going to say, some of those tunnels are very long.
Well, Gareth,
Who passed out?
We got to 4 minutes of counting. We didn't hold our breath for this; we just counted, which is lucky. We got to 4 minutes, and then we were like, "Jesus is long." Anyway, when we finally got out the tunnel, which we'd been in for like 20 minutes, turns out that was the longest, deepest road tunnel on Earth.
There you go.
So yeah, we were like, if we'd known that, we would have done something about it. Other than
filmed 20 minutes of you going through a tunnel.
Well, not quite like that, but yeah. And then we enjoyed a bit of Switzerland, a little bit of Luxembourg and Germany. We went along this area where there's a river running alongside the road. That side of the river is Germany. This side is Luxembourg, which is it. You know about it, but until you actually see it, you're kind of like, it's really interesting because like uh, that's how people used to divide land. Was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, you stay on that side of the river. So that was really cool to see. And yeah, but Belgium, like I said, and then back to France, and unfortunately back to England. Um, I mean, when I got here, I don't want to get too political, but when I got here, I saw all these England flags, and
Yes.
European countries are very proud of their flags, and they have them everywhere, and it's so nice. So I came back to this country, and it's really nice to see some England flags. Like, it's nice to see some like friendly pride in the country. It took me 2 days because I've stayed off social media for now 6 weeks.
Welcome back.
It took me 2 days to work out that it is racially charged and it's
Yeah.
just like venom from that Tommy Robinson bloke. And I'm not happy about it. I'm so disappointed. I was so disheartened because I actually thought, what a nice thing to see one of the flags. So yeah, that was miserable.
When
But
it comes to flags, the not being English, obviously, and living in Devon, which is part of England, because I unfortunately conflate the Cross of St George with a lot of racism and football
well,
hooliganism
I do now,
and things like that.
unfortunately.
But there is one person, and I hope he watches this because I really like this. Every week when I come here, driving through the little village that Aaron lives in,
Oh
there is
yeah,
one person with his flag who his flags,
flags.
multiple,
Yeah,
that I enjoy going, oh, I wonder what he's got this week because he has a flagpole and he changes the flag routinely to
yeah.
different things, but not always just either the Devon flag or the Exmoor flag because
Mm,
that's one in itself. Um, and those flags, I think they're not as connected to that bad side of
no.
fake patriotism that goes on. A bit like the Cornish flag or things like that. It's a bit it's a bit less like that. But he quite often has the flag of Rohan
Yeah,
on
yeah.
there,
It's
which
great, isn't
it's
it?
lovely to drive in and see the Rohan flag flying. It's
He did have a an interesting flag that I never found the meaning to and I should look into it really. But it was a jet black flag
Mm.
with the Welsh dragon on it.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I need to look into what that means. I find flags really quite interesting.
vexillology.
Yes, I find them quite interesting because I'm sad and lame like
This is where we're going to introduce our new podcast. We're going to literally rip off the Big Bang
that.
Theory.
Sheldon.
Fun with flags.
Um, but yeah, I was very disappointed. And now, unfortunately, I was clinging on to the England flag for like a little, like for like, not completely, but I was like trying to
What,
keep
like
hold.
front?
No, I was trying to keep hold of some optimism that the English flag would mean like what I consider to be English values. But I now think as of the last 2 weeks, I've now decided that it is so commandeered by the racists that I
Yeah.
don't like. It does. It's a real shame. But I've gone off on a long tangent. I didn't see any wolves. I saw one European bee eater. It was stuffed in a museum.
Oh.
So I wasn't happy about that. But otherwise, my time off was amazing, and I can't wait to do it again sometime.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh.
And you?
Yeah. Hang on. What have I done?
You did go to Butlins. Did you go fossil hunting while you were there?
We were, but I discovered something. It's very hard to go fossil hunting with a 12-week-old and a 5-year-old, especially when the rain starts to come in, and especially when it's on a beach where you were there,
Mm.
where you managed to severely injure your wife.
Yeah.
So she wasn't,
She wasn't keen on going back.
keen on going on
I
that
can't
beach.
blame her.
And we went to a really nice shop down there that sells Lego. So
Yeah.
bought some Lego. So no, we didn't do fossil hunting. Was going to, but I was being lazy. I couldn't be bothered. And the weather was sort of on and off rain. So I just, when you just
You
like,
stayed in the lazy river.
yeah, basically, which was very fun.
Good
It
though.
was very fun.
Did you go on the slide with the boat?
Yet again, couldn't do any of those. I had a 5-year-old with me, so wasn't
Fair,
cool enough.
fair.
But no, did the whole Butlins thing, but also, and this shows the last time was actually when we went fossil hunting.
Mm.
I didn't know that the road from watch it to Blue Anchor is no more.
Yeah, it's closed
It's
off now.
gone, which I was very shocked to find when I
Yeah.
tried to drive up that way. But that aside, wildlife wise, we were going to go to DinoCon, but you were in Spain or
Mm.
in
I was
you were in
actually,
Europe, all
funny
over the
enough,
place.
considering my partner is Spanish.
You
Spain
didn't go to
is the one
Spain, yeah.
country we didn't go to.
So you were all over Europe, and I made a rather stupid mistake. I forgot to book tickets.
That would be a mistake.
Luckily, did not drive all the way to Exeter to go and do that. Instead, we decided, because couldn't go, so because all the tickets were sold at that point, well, we went to Bristol Cribs Causeway for the day to
Mm.
go to the Lego shop because why not?
Yeah, why not?
Because I like Lego, if you hadn't guessed that. And that was reflected, I would say, in my birthday presents that I ended up receiving, which were mostly Lego. In fact, the huge T-Rex, which I still haven't built, which we will do. I think I want to do that as either like a live or a completely separate video of seeing me sitting there building a Lego model for quite a while. But we did see some nature on the way on that trip. It was, even though we missed out on doing dinosaur stuff, I did see some prehistoric things and also some living dinosaurs. On the M5 as we were driving up, as we were going through Gloucester or
Mm.
Gloucestershire, no, Somerset, sorry, Somerset levels out that way towards, if you'd have gone off, you could have gone up towards Glastonbury. Glastonbury, that's what I'm talking about. We had a European stork fly over the
yeah.
M5, which was really cool.
That's one thing I did see in France, European storks.
I mean, they're everywhere there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That made my day. And considering that shortly after that, the whole of the M5 did the usual thing that the M5 does, grind to a halt for ages. In Bristol Cribs Causeway as well, when we eventually made it there, we went to the food court and I managed to see some fossils.
I've been meaning to ask, did you know that they were there? Were you
Was
keeping your eye?
totally unaware, but I thought I'll have a look, as we were walking along and went, that's an ammonite. There's another ammonite. There's one over there. There's a belemnite there. All in the floor. So if you are anyone who lives anywhere near Cribs Causeway or you're going there, as you are going either up the stairs towards the kids' play area, or if you're going towards Burger King, because I noticed that towards the Burger King side, that's what we ended up having for lunch. There are ammonites in the floor, and there's a really nice one right in the middle, right next to a belemnite. So
Nice.
if you're in Cribs Causeway and you see someone pointing at the floor and looking at it, well, they're fossil hunting. If you see someone like yanking them out of the floor,
They're
I mean, they might, might be pushing. Yeah, they might be pushing it there. But yeah, so we managed to do a bit of not fossil hunting, but fossil spotting.
Yeah.
And I'm fairly certain I've taken some pictures, which I'll put up behind me. But yeah, you can go to Cribs Causeway and you can see fossils.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's about the most natural history stuff that I've actually done over the last couple of weeks. Other than obviously working, been a lot of baby animals, a lot. And the weather's been fun. It's been on and off
It's
rain
not
to
been
the
great,
point where I was in a flash flood for a brief couple of moments.
Wow.
Yeah, which was interesting. But yeah, anyway, I think we'll be here all week if we go over all of this stuff. So yeah, well, let's move into the news, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's the news!
Right. Well, we're into this week's news, the first for a good couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to start things off with an old bit of news, which we actually covered originally a very long time ago, but has now since had an update to it.
Nice.
But in itself, that news was also came out whilst we were away. So this is from BBC News. Punk rock dinosaur with meter-long spikes discovered. Well, it was discovered quite a while ago, but this is talking about Spicomelis affa, which is an ankylosaurid that has absolutely amazing armaments all over its body. It had elaborate spiked armor all over it. It had ribs that had spikes on them. This thing was absolutely armored to the teeth, but it basically breaks the mold and gives us a lot of interesting information about ankylosaurs because it was one of the earlier ankylosaurs, and as far as I'm aware, it's the only known ankylosaur from the entirety of Africa.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
this is a real groundbreaking dinosaur, but more information about it has come to light. More bits of the fossil have been found. It's now come to light more from the University of Birmingham, Professor Richard Butler, who co-led the research, and he told BBC News that this was the punk rocker of its time, considering that punk rock hadn't been invented, or rock. We'll go with that. But yeah, it's a really cool dinosaur.
I now have the teddy bears stuck in my head.
Okay.
I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. Dun, dun, dun. Very good. Anyway, sorry. So my first article comes to us from the BBC News. Baby beavers bring joy. There's a lot of bees in this.
Baby
beavers bring joy to nature reserve.
On the BBC.
On the BBC. So Northamptonshire is currently celebrating the arrival of beaver kits in the Rushton Lakes wetlands. Ranger officials have spotted 2, but are hopeful that more are present in the lodge.
That's really cool. Well, I've got also news that's very similar to that. This is the news from the Cornwall Bird Club, which is a Facebook group. And I'd recommend following it if you are in the UK or in the Southwest, or just interested in generally about what bird sightings are going on. This is the report basically about the bird numbers of choughs in Cornwall for 2025, and it marks the 3rd year in succession that the Cornish choughs have added over 100 choughlets to their population. 48 have been confirmed as breeding pairs. 48 of the confirmed breeding pairs were successful in raising a brood, that's up from last year's total of 42. From those nests, 129 young chough emerged, 15 more than in 2024. So that's fantastic numbers. And also, this comes on the back of news that the choughs in Kent, down in Dover, have now actually bred as well.
Oh,
so they've had confirmed chicks this year as well. Yeah. So really good news for a fantastic bird.
That is cool. So my second article comes to us from the Wildlife Trust, and the headline is "New policy proposal for wilder riverbanks is key to reversing river decline." It seems to be a lot of onomatopoeia this week. They're trying to catch me out. So the 5th of September saw the Wildlife Trust publish fresh proposals to support their Wilder River campaign across England and Wales. The proposals have a strong restorative emphasis and have been released ahead of the government's water reform white paper, which is due to start this autumn.
Is that much like the lots of white paper that has markings on it floating in our waters currently?
Yes.
So my next one is also from the BBC. This is new dinosaur species named after fossil analysis. And this is another British dinosaur, actually. This is the news that 125 years after the fossil itself was found, a team from the University of Bristol.
Now we're talking street. The Brizzle. I remember when we used to call it that.
Used modern digital scanning to reveal more details on a fossilized jawbone that was found in Penarth in South Wales in 1899 and has been on display at the National Museum of Wales ever since. Now, the fossil consists of a natural mold, which left limestone rock, and they're basically able to 3D construct it by scanning it, which is fantastic. Sort of technology, but the dinosaur has now been named as a brand new species, Newtonosaurus cambrenensis, after Sir Isaac Newton, because it's different from all other dinosaurs from around that time and required a distinctive name, said paleontologist student Owain Evans. So, Welsh dinosaur.
It wasn't that something fell on its head.
Well, I mean, eventually a lot of stuff fell on the dinosaur's head. Yeah, but no, not this particular one.
Fair enough. So my final article for the headline section is from earth.com, and that is the news that rare and beautiful bird thought to be extinct is rediscovered after 100 years of no sightings. So the bright green and yellow plumage of Australia's night parrot has been found in Australia's interior after a 3-year effort from 2020 to 2023 by Indigenous rangers and scientists to ascertain whether they still actually even exist, as well as trying to work out what threats exist with them and what people can do to protect them if they are there. Needless to say, the animal have become near cryptozoological, so Australia has all the cause to celebrate just as much as Northamptonshire, if not more, I suppose. Just don't get your hopes up for thylacines being rediscovered.
Why Northamptonshire?
Northamptonshire was earlier on when they discovered the.
I was going to say, if they've been
the
discovered,
beaver kit. No, that would be cool
you
though.
threw me there.
So that's the end of the headline section of our news segment. If you guys have articles, please do send them in. Send them in. Excuse me. I do understand that a few of you have sent some in, and we're going to catch up with those now that we're back together again. But with that said, we're into the main article, which is, of course, this week with Gareth.
Well, I have got two different things that I need you to look at and to vote on.
Okay.
So this is your democratic duty that you can actually help out on, regardless of where you are in the world. So there's two things.
Global democracy.
Yes, yeah. So there's two things.
I love democracy.
First one. Well, I'll give you the choice: option A or option B. And we're going to do both.
I got
anyway.
a blind vote. Oh, we're going to do both. Let's go with option B.
Okay, so we'll start off with B. B for bird, because it is that time of the year again where Forest and Bird, New Zealand's conservation group that aims to give nature a voice, are running their Bird of the Year competition again. Now, you may remember we talked about this
I think
in
2
the past.
years on the trot, actually.
Well, yeah, pretty much every year.
Yeah.
Probably the most famous year was when the talk show host John Oliver got the Puteki Teki to win in 2023. But last year, do you know who won it?
It wasn't Kakapo, was it?
No. The Kakapo won.
Yeah.
No. It was the yellow-eyed penguin.
Yes, it was.
So,
I remember.
This is a chance to basically make your voice heard. So last year was the yellow-eyed penguin. The year before was the Puteki Teki, otherwise known as the Australasian grebe, Australasian crested grebe. The year before that was the rock wren. The year before that was controversial because in 2021 it was the long-tailed bat, which last time I checked is not a bird. But he's one of New Zealand's rarest mammals and one of its only few native mammals. In 2020, it was the kakapo that won.
Right. Okay.
But it's that time of year again where you can go to their website of Forest and Bird, and you can log your vote for who should be Bird of the Year. Doesn't matter where you live in the world. Hence why John Oliver was able to completely and utterly wreck the system 2 years ago. But yeah, you could vote for your choice of New Zealand species of bird. But because I follow a lot of the New Zealand conservation groups and things on there, they're all starting to throw out, who they think should be the winner. So I'm not going to say who you should vote for.
What are some favourites that are coming from the void of the internet? Then can you say that?
I don't know, because I haven't looked at that many of them. But
fair enough.
But I'm not going to tell you who you should vote for. I think that's entirely up to you. I think my vote. There's too many good birds. That's the problem. There's too many. I want to go for kakapo because it is, I would say, my favourite New Zealand bird. But you know what? I'm going to go for a wild choice here. I'm going to say weka, which is a type of rail from New Zealand, which I really liked.
I will probably go on and vote for kiwi because I like kiwis.
Yeah,
and they're so different from everything else. So yeah,
there you go. There's your democratic choice number one. Okay. So the other one that I was going to look at, which we were going to get to anyway, is well, you like Lego, Aaron.
I do.
Yeah, I like Lego.
You do.
That's quite evident. Now, there's quite a lot of adult fans of Lego these days. To the point where it's kind of ruined some aspects of it, but it's also made some aspects of it really quite good because there are a lot more creative people building their own sets and then putting them out there. Have you ever heard of Lego Ideas?
Yes.
Right. Well, essentially, you know that it is it's a voting sort of platform in that people build a set.
They do their MOCs, don't they?
Yeah, they'll build different mocks or what they think will be an ideal set to sell, and it can be literally anything. That means that you can end up with loads of ideas. Some of the best ones that have come through have been things like the DeLorean, and I believe the Ghostbusters car as well. Those were started out as Lego ideas. My Kakapo that I've got, that was a Lego ideas one as well.
Yep.
And what happens is you basically have to use pre-existing parts of Lego. So the idea is that Lego itself doesn't have to do any actual hard work and make custom bricks for those individual things.
Yeah.
Occasionally, when they pick them up, they do change the idea, but it's got to get over a certain number of votes to be considered for like Lego to take it on. And even then, they may not take it on. So why am I talking about Lego? Well, I mean, I like it, but also the moment there is a group trying to get through, and this is actually on the Friends of Crystal Palace Dinosaurs, which you might be aware from when we've talked about Megalosaurus and Iguanodon in the past, are the original sort of paleo art models.
Yeah.
So the Crystal Palace dinosaurs were originally built to represent these animals in a life-size scale. Well, what somebody has done is not made a life-size Lego dinosaur, which would be cool, which I think some groups actually do now. There is now a Lego ideas set that has been put up by a creator called Menapian for a 4,998 set piece of the Great Exhibition of 1851, which comes with a Megalosaurus and Ichthyosaur statue from the exhibition. Now, the exhibition itself comes with, like I say, this little build of those dinosaur, or that dinosaur and an ichthyosaur, but it also comes with the exhibition hall itself. Inside there's the various different bits and pieces that were in the Great Exhibition before, unfortunately, the Crystal Palace burnt to the ground. But you can go on the Lego Ideas site and you can vote for that if you want to see it go through, or just go on there and see some of the other ones that have also gone through. There is one that has just been released as well that I think is also quite cool, is the Lego Minerals set.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that was another one that started out as a Lego Ideas thing and has gone through the process. People voted for it heavily, and we now have that set coming out. I think it's just come out as of the 1st of September. So, yeah, I mean, it's really cool, you know. If you like Lego, if you like animals and nature and natural history stuff, there's more and more of it sort of creeping in. You can end up with quite a nice niche collection of natural history, and a quite niche, a nice collection of natural history Lego to display, especially the insects. That's another one that I quite enjoyed. That one. Drew had that one first, and then I had to get that. He's also got the Kingfisher as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of different things like that. But there you go. There's two democratic processes that you can get involved when the entirety of democracy seems to be falling around its knees in the rest of the world. You can at least, take part in something that will provide a little bit of joy, either to yourself or to people all around the world.
I must say, like it was the Kakapo, wasn't it? The Lego set, and the Kingfisher. They both look really good. They're really good. Some of the things that have come out of Lego
I like the
ideas
more than the Kingfisher,
of course, but some of the things that have come out of these Lego ideas have been awesome.
Oh yeah, hands down, amazing.
I do want to just because you struggled a bit with having this in your article a bit as well. So I just want to correct myself. I said earlier on I was struggling with the onomatopoeia. It's not onomatopoeia, it's alliteration.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the term I was looking for, but it muddled in my brain. But yeah, it's really cool. Both of those are really cool, and I shall be going and exercising my right as a citizen of this planet to vote in things that are not in this country.
I will try and include in the show notes and everything links to both of those different those different ones that you can go to, and will take you through to either Lego Ideas or to the Bird of the Year. for 2025. So yeah.
Awesome.
So should we head into our creature feature, our first for for being back?
It's been prowling in the background for the last few weeks. Let's do
I hope you fed it.
it. I've not been here.
Oh God.
It's the creature feature.
Well, we're back into our first real creature feature in the studio. We're not in a void anymore. I'm not by a green screen
Nope.
hidden out in the wilderness.
And we're in the same room now.
Exactly. We're properly back. But Aaron, what are we looking at? What is our proper creature feature back in the cupboard?
Well, we're gonna do clouded leopards this week. Just
Nice,
may as
you're
well
coming out
say
and say it.
Just may as well come out and say it. Because it's a nice one, a nice kind of soft start to normality again.
Yeah.
But I would like to ask you how many times out of the cats that we've covered,
Yep.
including your one with the cougar,
Okay. Yeah.
how many of them have I said that the species that we're talking about really is really a bit extra?
Well, definitely for the tiger. I think even so I think pretty much every one of them actually.
I actually went back for this to do the research because I was thinking about what I was going to say. I was bullet pointing and stuff, and I thought, and I've written that clouded leopards are a bit extra, and that they're one of my favourites. And then I realised I went back and thought, that sounds familiar. So I went back and I've said it about every cat, even the one that you did.
Is that not a little bit like getting down with the kids there? A bit extra.
A bit extra.
You know?
A bit extra.
Hang on, do they have aura or something? Aura
yeah,
points.
that was what I said last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Points for aura or something like that. Yeah, no, I've given up trying to sound street.
We're back cool.
It's off to a great start.
Yep.
I think I just like. I mean, tigers are obviously the favorite, but I think I just like cats. They're just great. All of them are a little bit extra. But first, let's just bust a couple of terms off of the table, straight away.
Yep.
Let's get rid of a few terms that aren't really relevant to begin with. So the clouded leopard, for a start, is not a leopard.
And also not a cloud.
And it's not a cloud, no. Now, you'll remember my mockery of the name snow leopard.
Yeah.
And how basically English-speaking people are very lazy at naming things. They see a spotty cat in the snow and they go, snow leopard.
Yep.
In this case, the same applies because basically the markings loosely look like a leopard if you're squinting, and although they're larger and more irregularly kind of defined, almost like fog. And eureka, you have clouded leopard. The clouded leopard, though, is very much its own separate thing. It's not a leopard. It's a basal member of the Pantherinae subfamily of cats. So in other words, it was a bit of a leader, splitting from the common ancestor of all the other larger cat species over 9 million years ago. So it broke away early, which is probably... Well, we'll come on to that in a bit. These other large cat species are the dynasty that would give rise to pantheras, so your big cats, basically. And that is what I was about to say, that it raises the other term we need to get rid of straight away, big cats. Because I do often, quite oddly, see clouded leopards listed as one of the 5 big cats. So who's getting knocked off? The snow leopard.
Yeah, who is working at Big Clouded Leopard? You know, what's their agenda?
There is a anti-snow leopard, pro clouded leopard conspiracy in the world.
Better than snow leopards.
They're not, no. But yeah, I often see them listed as one of the 5 big cats. I often see snow leopards knocked off the list, and it's just not accurate. For a start, their throat. It's not about size, because as you know. Some cougars are bigger than some leopards, and certainly bigger than some snow leopards.
Definitely.
So it's not all about size, but a good starting point is the throat, the vocal cords and such, the hyoid apparatus, as they call it. In clouded leopards, I almost said snow leopard because I've said leopard so many times. I don't know where I am anymore.
Just say snow or clouded.
Cloudy. We'll call them cloudies. It's completely ossified in the cloudies, so it's completely a bone apparatus as opposed to being cartilage or a mixture of the two, and this prevents them from roaring like small cats.
Yeah,
but let's chuck small cats off the table too. Not the cats themselves, but the term at least.
Well, they'll land on their feet.
Instead, what cloudies seem to do is they chirp and squeak, kind of a little bit like cheetahs in that
Yeah.
regard. In addition, they can't actually purr. Cheetahs can. So that fact, like I say, it also puts the clouded leopard at odds with the small cats. So they're not leopards, they're not big cats, they're not small cats. So both phylogenetically and physiologically, they are neither a true big cat nor a true small cat.
They're a medium cat.
Yeah, I get in a sense, yeah, you can loosely regard them as a link between the two kind of subfamilies. And speaking of subfamilies of cats, the next one I want to get rid of
I've just seen the word there and I know exactly where this is going.
saber-toothed. I have seen, unfortunately, more times than I wish to remember or count, people either name them as or consider them as such as saber-toothed cats. This is not true. They may share a genetic trait with Mecharodonts that leads them to not only have these massive canine teeth that clouded leopards do have, to be fair, but they also have a gape that they can open their mouths 100 degrees, which is I think more proportionally than
most
any other cats.
Well, then again, if you've got large canines, you've got to be able to open your mouth, otherwise you can't.
So yeah, there is that genetic trait. Fair enough, but they are not a member of the Mecharodonts.
No, I think that falls under the same sort of fact that gets overly used and dumbed down to a degree because it's often used in signage in zoos, and sometimes the people who are making the signage are not the people who are doing the education stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just a company or whoever's been employed in the PR department or whatever, and it gets bolted up there because you see saber tooth. And it's
flashy and this.
But I see that as in the same vein as, and I saw this happen just the other week when we were at Butlins.
Oh yeah.
Where they had a meet a T-Rex and I'm gonna call them out on this. Their dinosaur wranglers were giving some really, really bad facts that were not facts. And one of them is, do you know what the closest living relative of a T-Rex is? It's a chicken. Of all the birds, it's a chicken. No, it's not. Chickens are just
Did you pull them up on it?
You totally should. I wanted to go right over there and go, hang on.
Actually, or as the comic book geek, actually.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have appeared like. But no, I felt like sending him a strongly worded email. But
I think you should, maybe not strongly worded, but I think you should. I think it is your moral obligation. I'm not even taking the mick here. It's your moral obligation to send them an email and say, look, just want to say, had a great stay, a fantastic park, really enjoyed our stay. But just a couple pointers. Your dinosaur wranglers really need to. Hopefully, someone at mine to listen.
Well, exactly. I'm hoping. Yeah,
and you should feel ashamed.
I was in amongst.
Maybe that was a bit too far. Maybe, but yeah, these guys aren't Mecharodonts, and no more than the Tyrannosaurus is a chicken.
Yeah.
Just because they're both theropods and dinosaurs doesn't
exactly.
These guys.
Yeah, I think that's where
it's almost like the snow leopard thing again.
Yeah. It's simplifying
teeth. Oh, saber-tooth. Saber-tooth tiger. Does like a 90s Power Ranger reference that nobody
gets.
It was
always Triceratops, you
know. That was the Blue Ranger, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we're really going off on tangent. Sorry.
Coloured like it.
We are. We are. Yeah, very good. So they're not true saber-tooths. Getting back on track, the clouded leopard is basically a hodgepodge chimera of sorts, of the cat family at least. It's basically a Pantherinae cat trapped in a Felinae body with Mecharodontinae teeth, and yet it's none of those at the same time. So it's just a bit of a weird one. So what are they? Well, they are.
I think they should officially be called medium cats.
Medium cats.
Yeah.
So we consider cheetahs large cats.
I would consider them medium. I would put cheetahs, these, And I'd even throw pumas in as medium cats.
I think there could be an argument to that, and maybe one or two other species as well.
Yeah, maybe an ocelot.
Ocelot, perhaps.
But anyway, let's not
Lynx
go.
and Cackle, but yeah, we're getting off on a tangent. These guys, their scientific name is Neophilus nebulosa. Neo, which obviously means the one.
It's like we haven't been gone.
That wasn't planned, and it's not on the show notes either. So that was just magic.
Yep.
It's Greek, and it means new or young. Felis is Latin. It probably obviously means cat.
Yeah.
So Neophilus means new cat. And then nebulosa, which is where we get the cloudy bit from, is again a Latin word meaning nebula, which is not the Marvel character. Instead, it's actually a giant dusty cloud in space where stars are born.
I always thought it was just they were a bit nebulous. No one could really care about what. Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair. As a side note, I know we draw the name clouded from the fact that they're named for cosmic dust clouds, but nebula leopard, whilst not rolling off the tongue as easily as clouded leopard, is far more poetic and cool than clouded, in my opinion. If I say nebula, it kind of conjures those stunning images from the James Webb and Hubble telescopes, those kind of photography of the cosmos there. Whereas if I say clouded, it makes me think of the majority of a year in the life of a Brit. So yeah,
A very grey leopard.
Yeah. I think a clouded leopard would be better suited to snow leopard, really.
Yeah,
In that regard. But that aside, let's look at what makes cloudies tick. We're talking about a solitary cat spread across a surprisingly vast area of Asia. In fact, I thought they were much more restricted than they were. And when I saw the list, I thought, I'm just going to say a vast area of Asia rather than name all the home range countries. And yet, they are still incredibly rare. Despite its awe-inspiring stealth capabilities and its natural avoidance of humans, our activity, and the disturbances we cause, they are still persecuted, or we still manage to slight them in various ways. The cosmic dust cat, as I think we should now rename it, is a nocturnal, for the most part, species, and it prefers territories with arboreal optionality, though the habitats they choose, because it's such a vast area of Asia, are quite different types of forest. In fact, the cat is a very keen climber, perhaps rivaling even margais. They can turn their feet around and literally like that, which most cats can't do. And they have a somewhat prehensile tail, both of which aid in climbing.
Yeah.
They can quite literally hang from tree branches by their hind legs, gripping only with the claws of those
impressive.
feet, and wrapping their tail around. It is incredibly impressive, and they're strong.
Yeah.
With margais, you can see that they're strong, but they're such a small, slight cat that they're almost. It's a betrayal of their body, really, because they look gracile and delicate. They're not, but they look it. Whereas the clouded leopard, it looks strong.
They look heavier, and they look like they've got a lot more.
They look like, for such a small cat, you'd think it could take you down.
Yeah.
Anyway, they can virtually also run down a tree vertically head first. They can also move along the underside of a branch, basically, I guess.
Like a big cat squirrel.
Yeah, exactly. Just by hanging by all fours as they walk. Not merely just a climber, though. They are also jumpers with an average vertical jump of 1.2 meters straight up. If I had that proportionate to my body height, I would have taken a very different career path. So we don't have a great handle on how big a range is for a clouded leopard, but we do have some estimates. The problem is those estimates come from only one range country, considering they come from quite, as I say, a large expanse of Asia. It's only Thailand that have done any estimates on this, and we think that they hold territories between 22 and 49 kilometers, with the males having a larger territory, which seems to be pretty standard for cats, really. Within this territory, they'll select for trees offering comfortable sheltering opportunities, and they'll spend the majority of their day resting arboreally before descending to hunt on the forest floor. When they're hunting, they utilize two strategies mainly. They're active stalkers, creeping up on some prey as close as possible before exploding into the chase, which is something you see cheetahs, leopards, and other cats do. But they also employ ambush tactics, basically lying in wait for other prey to pass them before they pounce on the unsuspecting victim and make use of those oversized canines that we've already mentioned. Being able to rely on multiple hunting strategies ensures that the clouded leopard can make use of a wide variety of prey types, and this can include all manner of amphibians. Binturong, which is a surprising one because Binturong are not just big and strong, they can be pretty vicious too.
Yeah.
Birds, boar, which is another surprising one, deer, a whole range of lizards, lorises, macaques, pangolins, pheasants, rodents, which includes porcupines, but also squirrels and other smaller size options. It's also worth noting that in the pursuit of such prey diversity, the cat can employ both of these hunting strategies we've mentioned, both arboreally and terrestrially. They are basically the lord of both realms for their kind of niche. So they're pretty efficient takers of life, but what about giving it? So they're born blind, weighing up to 280 grams, which is about 9.9 ounces, and these cubs will be completely defenseless. They're born with solid blotches as opposed to the misty rings that they'll develop in adulthood. And at 10 days old, that is when they'll be able to open their eyes for the first time. 2 weeks later, roughly, the cubs will be bustling with energy and they'll be a lot more active around the den and outside of it. At the age of 3 months, these cubs are now onto solids, and at 6 months, their blotches have faded into the adult form, the nebula sort of pelage, I suppose.
Yeah.
They become independent at 10 months old and are sexually mature on average at 26 months, and that is the case for males and females. So that is a lot quicker maturity rate than the Pantherinae, who at 26 months, they probably would have been independent for just 2 months of that. So quite surprising there, considering their relationship to those cats. To communicate an interest in mating, they'll scent mark the territory furniture using urine, or if they're feeling a little bit cleaner, they'll simply rub their head upon an item in the environment. As the mood takes them, they'll begin to vocalize more, producing a cry that advertises their location. They'll also emit short blasts that resemble a high-pitched meow. And they can also, much like their larger cousins, the tigers and the snow leopards, they'll chuff, which I think we've covered before. But essentially, if you whisper a very rapid fire F sound, and I don't know if the mic will pick it up, so I won't try it now. But
I might have to see if you can find a
sound if I can get a sound bite. Yeah. But they when they meet each other and a potential mate, they'll produce this chuff sound. Of course, if it's a rival that they're meeting as opposed to a mate, they'll contract the muscles in their muzzle, and they'll bare their teeth, and they'll offer an aggressive hiss.
Yeah.
It very rarely comes to fighting, though, from what I could gather.
Well, it's dangerous to do so, yeah.
The female is only receptive for 6 days on average. Usually between December and March is when they'll mate. So it's imperative that during this time, these vocalizations and scent clues are enough to make the search a time-efficient project. If they're successful, they'll part ways, leaving the female to go through gestation and parenthood alone. The male takes no part in it. If she is pregnant, she'll carry her litter for around 93 days, give or take a week or so, which also is quite standard for actually the big cats as well. And that will result in an average litter of about 3 cubs for her to care for. Unfortunately, these cubs aren't born into a clouded leopard-friendly world. Whilst conservation efforts and government initiatives do offer some level of protection, it's not policed enough, and it's actually, I hate to be depressing about it, but it's pretty futile. In fact, the first time I ever saw a clouded leopard in the flesh was when I was in Asia, and it was dead on a table in a wet market that I just walked through.
Can't admit, I can't see how that would be the most appetizing of animals to eat.
I don't think it was there to eat. I think it was there for Chinese traditional medicine market.
Yeah,
that's where I think it was heading to. I didn't take the time to read the label or anything, but I do know for a fact that proper true leopards, they're labeled as poor man's tiger. which sells the leopard short, really.
Mum, can we have tiger? We've got tiger at home.
Yeah, you have this cheap budget tiger. So yeah, and all you can do when you're faced with that, all you can do is report it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the actual hunting of the species is banned in most of its range countries, but like I said, it's not policed particularly well. And so in the last 3 decades, literally hundreds of individual cats have been discovered in parts that were being sold or trafficked across Asia, and not many arrests have been made to help combat the crimes, which tells me that there's probably hundreds, if not thousands, more that have not gone
Been noticed.
Been noticed. So yeah, and it's not just poaching; it's also habitat destruction and fragmentation that is affecting them greatly
They're
too.
another one that is threatened mostly by palm oil as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that is. I hate to leave it on a kind of on the whole the poaching note, but that is in a nutshell clouded leopard.
Or like a lot of the animals that we've looked at from that part of the world, it's poaching and things that that cause a huge problem. If I remember correctly, and I'm probably remembering this wrong, their coat is, I think, supposed to, or I'm sure I read a thing or I've seen something saying that their coat is what is considered the basal like format for most carnivores, like cat coats, because it is the most sort of effective coat pattern in a it would be the most primitive like cat coloring. That's really badly explained, I know.
No, but I get what you mean. The my understanding of it is that's kind of the primitive, the basal. And you can kind of, if you look at it in that light, you can kind of understand it, because when you look at other cats, when you look at, for example, lions, they're born with rosettes, which fade over time. Leopard rosettes and jaguar rosettes are both pretty reminiscent of these nebula on the clouded leopard. They've just shrunk as the cat's gotten bigger. And then if you take that kind of, and then snow leopard's the same. Snow leopards and tigers are sister species, and they're considered or at least my understanding of it at the moment is that they're considered the closest to the cloudies. And if you take this thing that I'm saying about the leopards and the jaguars and snow leopards one stage further, and you grow those nebula outwards,
you end up with
stripes because they've been broken.
Stripes,
So you can definitely see how. I tell you what. Oh, literally, just as I was about to say his name, it's gone out of my head. But a quick way of explaining this is the book Big Cats and Their Fossil Relatives. If you go through the artwork of that book, a lot of them
that's right
with that kind of coloration, and it looks really nice.
Yeah, I suppose it is what you tend to think. Which the only reason that, going back to saber-tooths, the only reason that I believe saber-toothed cats got called saber-toothed tigers was because Charles Knight, who is the fantastic paleo artist of like the 1920s, 1930s, which is all of his artwork is beautiful for what it is, but it is dated and doesn't fit our understanding of any of those animals nowadays. One of the artworks of a saber-tooth, the Smilodon, he had it with stripes, and then it got nicknamed from that point on the saber-toothed tiger, because people see stripes and they apparently can't see anything other than a tiger. Case in point, thylacine. So
the Tasmanian tiger wolf.
Exactly. There you go. See?
Yeah. No,
we are very bad at naming things.
Incredibly bad at naming things. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's move into our email, shall we?
Let's do it.
Bing! You've got mail. Ooh, it's an email.
Right. Well, we're into our emails for this week. We're going to start things off with a question I posed a long while ago. So I posed this question quite a while ago, actually, and we've got a few good comments on this one to be able to talk about.
Digs.
Yeah, I feel a lot of these are aimed at us.
Some of these feel a little personal.
Yeah. Things to never say to a dinosaur fan. So I'll start things off with Jess. She's basically said Spinosaurus could beat a T-Rex in a fight, and then put my name below it. Now, either she's aiming that at me. I mean, it's being aimed at me anyway, but I never said that, and I'd like to point that out. If we're talking about the film Jurassic Park, where the Spinosaurus beats the T-Rex, yes, it did, but in reality, the two would have never met, and
They're separated by time and space.
exactly, and yeah, I think a T-Rex would probably kill a Spinosaurus in a straight up just sticking
I-
them in a cage.
I think so as well.
But I think that's there to provoke.
Speaking of provocation,
Yeah.
Atasara, who obviously, as my partner, knows me very well, says Aaron gets really annoyed
Dig it in.
when he really annoyed when he hears the words pteranodon and dinosaur together.
I also get annoyed by that as well.
Just to clarify, not if they're in the same sentence, but
Yeah.
if someone refers to a pteranodon as a dinosaur, yeah, it irks me a little
I
bit.
get more annoyed when people call them pterodactyls.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That, which will probably come up at some point. Jen Babs has put, why are you interested in dinosaurs? They went extinct millions of years ago. Or more recently, about me, why is she interested in dinosaurs? They went extinct millions of years ago. From my uncle, who we care for, because I didn't go and see him. I went for a dino fix instead, one day out of God knows how many. Also, they can't be that brilliant. They're all extinct, or so Jurassic Park. I could go on. Yeah, it sounds like she went into a little bit of a rant there, actually.
So I think someone else got triggered.
Yeah.
So then Jan Ashbridge follows up with, Nan, were you alive if dinosaurs were on the earth?
Oh, I mean, you can actually say yes because birds, but we should probably class as like a being irritated by things to say. Ashley Weeks has said, you mean the big lizards from that Jurassic Park documentary?
Becky Walker says, my favorite, there you go.
Yeah.
My favorite dinosaur is the mosasaur or pterodactyl. Knife, knife, knife,
Yeah.
knife.
And Drew has put Jurassic Park 3 is a good film. Look, I said it, I'll stand by it. Compared to the absolute dreck that we've had since, it's a good film.
I've said it before, Jurassic World is, well, in fact, the Jurassic World 1 and 2 is better than Jurassic Park 3. I would say Jurassic World 3 is probably on a par. No, I still think Jurassic Park 3 is worse. But that Jurassic World Rebirth, that could be a little bit worse than Jurassic 3, I think.
It was not good. Of which you have put, I feel the rage when this is said.
Yeah, I do.
And
I hate
Drew,
Jurassic Park 3. The only film I've ever walked out of in the cinema.
yeah, I can understand, but he
And
said,
that
I
was
only know one
before
person.
the Spinosaurus, T-Rex film. It's got nothing to do with that.
That's fair enough. I mean, it has its problem. Look, that is because no one seems to remember that he spends ages trying to talk to the parrot.
No, I know that, but the important part of that is the raptor saying Alan has got feathers.
Yeah.
He's never seen a raptor with feathers.
That's fine. I can go with that. From a technical standpoint,
And he would never go back to the park. No
Well-
money on earth would get him to go back to the park.
yeah.
Completely
From a
breaks
technical
characters.
standpoint, the Spinosaurus in that was the biggest animatronic. I don't think it's to date anymore. I think that
No.
might have gone out the window. But at that point, it was the biggest animatronic creature that had ever been made, and was accurate.
I was going to say,
at the time as well.
I take the mick out of the Spinosaurus not being accurate now, but I will forever defend how good that Spinosaur looked for that window in time.
I will stand by it. I like that film. In my mind, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then maybe the first Jurassic World film, and then the rest I just can't bring myself to watch. But anyway,
So next up, Abhijit says, my favorite dinosaurs are pterosaurs.
oh, this is this one hurts. From my other half, she's put dinosaurs are extinct. Now, some backstory to this particular one. I offhand said that in a comment to her just randomly whilst we were having a discussion, a heated discussion, shall we say, about dinosaurs and birds, and I slipped up basically, and she's never let me forget that one ever since. Ever since. So I think that one's going to be etched on my tombstone one day.
Christopher Ackerson says mosasaurs are very cool dinosaurs, but the coolest dinosaur are those flying ones, Quetzalcoatlus.
Oh. And Spencer seems Jurassic Park original is 100% scientifically accurate. Oh, that cuts deep.
I think we need to put out more questions like this one that get people saying funny stuff to us.
Horrendous stuff to us as well.
Criminals.
Yeah.
Some of this is like capital punishment type stuff.
Yeah. So that was last week's or many last week's question for you. This week, what we're going to pose is what has been your most interesting natural history thing that has happened to you over the summer? I think is a good way to do it. Then we can recap what everyone else has been doing out there whilst we've been gallivanting all over the place.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. What would you say is your number one thing, natural history wise, from this summer?
Okay, for me personally, it was
That's the whole idea.
the Osprey. Yeah.
Osprey. That's cool.
No, personally, the Osprey. It's my first time seeing it in the flesh, I think, but it's definitely my first time seeing one hunt. I will say the video that I'm going to put up for the Patreons, and the photo I put up earlier, seeing that was cool, but there was an element of, oh, is this it? So yeah, it just loses out to the yeah.
Well, for me, it's going to have to be that white stork, seeing one of them flying over, especially flying over something as awful and as mundane as the M5 motorway. Seeing a bird like that flying over, and then I would say the accompanying amounts of Facebook posts on local birding groups around Barnstable, saying that there was sightings of them no more than about 2 minutes away from my house. So yeah.
It's good. It's good to have them back.
Yeah. So
I wonder how many of those flag waving idiots knew that we had a new one of our native birds back.
Well, don't, because it's European white stork.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Anyway, politics aside, let us know what you've been up to over the summer. That will be up on our Facebook page, and yeah, you can let us know on the usual ways. You can also let us know through our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, all of those different places, as well as our email address, which is the nathistorykupboard@gmail.com.
But this one comes to us from Christopher Ackerson. So nice to hear from you again. After our summer break. He says, "Hello, gentlemen. My regards to you. I ran into this article about a rare Australian parrot thought extinct but spotted in the wild. It's nice to read nature news, which is not universally bad. That's getting
definitely
rare. It was nice to hear Drew on recent episodes. Those were fun subjects. Congrats. Thank you for producing a great show, Gareth, Aaron, Drew, and all those who make it happen." Well, funnily enough, I covered that in the news at the start of this episode. So you have it covered for you, Chris. But other than that, you're absolutely right. It's nice to get some like universally good news.
Yeah.
And thank you for your kind words.
Well, that is, like I say, our emails for this week. Like I say, you can get in contact through all of our social media channels. The email address is thenathistorykupboard@gmail.com. But we do want to make a big point to mention our Patreons, which we're going to talk about now.
Every week, we like to give a little love back by shouting out the names of our wonderful Patreon supporters.
That's right. These are the cupboard dwellers who are kind enough to support us through a monetary contribution, for which we are eternally grateful and grateful beyond words.
And those people are, of course, Fogtober, Jen Greenhall, Connie P, Chelsea McKee, Nick to Nick,
Owen Cox,
and Matt Geddy.
Guys, your financial contributions are actively helping us out here in the Natural History Cupboard in a myriad of ways, including developing our new studio, planning excursions and being able to go out and film on location, considering technical upgrades, and actually making the jump from a solely audio-based podcast to the now growing YouTube channel. And we really can't thank you enough for that.
Now, We appreciate all of our cupboard dwellers and the support you offer us through listening, liking, sharing, and subscribing. But if you feel we've earned it and you're considering joining our Patreon, there are 2 options through which you can do so.
That's the Nature Nerds and the Animal Ambassador tiers, which you can find on the Patreon website or links through our social media as well, and each one having different benefits for you to enjoy.
And now back to Gareth and Erin in the studio.
And there's our wonderful Patreon. So massive thank you to every single one of you. It helps massively to be able to do what we do here and make it work, really, I suppose. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of this week's show. First one back. First one after the summer. That's a really bad way of putting that.
Well, we had like a what?
A
Shall we say a
hiatus.
5-week summer hiatus?
Yeah.
Or at least 5 weeks of.
Let's do it. So why don't we?
Yeah.
But yeah. So that pretty much brings me to say a big thank you, Erin. Really good with the snow leopard, clouded leopard, a leopard with something.
The second non-leopard leopard. Yeah.
And a big thank you to you at home for joining us. And we'll see you next time here in the Natural History Cupboard. Bye.
Bye. So it's my bad joke this week, I suppose.
Yep.
So which side of a clouded leopard has more spots?
I don't know.
The outside.
Oh, God. They all missed us.